Hola clase, today we are talking about direct object pronouns and also the personal a. So we'll be looking at that. So first thing, direct objects. We've got to know what those are before we can do anything with that. So they are who or what receives the action of the verb. So it answers the question who or what. So I'm reading the book. I'm reading what? I'm reading the book. So the book is my direct object. And then we can change that to a direct object pronoun. Instead of saying I'm reading the book, I'm reading it. So it is now my direct object pronoun. We love our grandparents. Who do we love? Our grandparents. So our grandparents is the direct object here. And then we don't have to say our grandparents. We can shorten that up and say we love them. And them would be our direct object pronoun. So here's a little side note. There is this idea of, it's called personal a. And we just kind of randomly, well not randomly, but we put the letter a before certain direct objects. So here's the rule. If the direct object is a person, then you're going to add a between the verb and the object. So if I want to say I'm calling my cousin is a person who happens to be a direct object. So when we put that in English, we say I'm calling, llamo, mi prima is my cousin. We're going to add this word a in here. If I wanted to say, let's see, I'm reading the book. Let's say I see the book. Veo is I see. El libro is the book. El libro, well, my pen stopped working. There we go. Maybe. Well, el libro, the book, is my direct object. It's not a person though, so I don't need an a there. So veo el libro is right. There is an exception to this. If you're using the verb tener, you do not add the a in there. So if you say I have a cousin, you don't say tengo a una prima. You just say tengo una prima. So these are the direct object pronouns. Get those written down. So my pen stopped working. I'm having to use my hand, so sorry, this is going to be a little messy. Me would translate as me. Te would translate as you. Lo or la is going to translate as him or her or it or you if it's usted. Nos will translate as us. Os translates as you all. Los or las translates as you all or them. And then when you're dealing with it, or even you all and them, the lo and los are masculine, and la and las are feminine. So that's how it works. Those are the things that you want to start getting memorized. Direct object placement. There are 3 places that we know right now where a direct object can go. So it can go before a conjugation. So that's like where you conjugate a verb in the present tense, like we did in Spanish 1. Hablo, hablas. It's going to go before that. It can also go after an infinitive, and we'll look into that. And it can go after a present participle. So let's look at these 3 sentences. I'm reading the book. So the book is it. So if I want to say I'm reading the book, leo el libro. But instead I want to say I'm reading it. The book is masculine, so it's going to be lo. And then leo is just a conjugated verb. So a simple conjugated verb. So it will go before leo. So to say I'm reading it, lo, leo. And then if I want to put that in the present progressive tense, I'm reading it now. So that's where we say estoy leyendo. So that's our verb phrase. I am reading. Estoy leyendo. It is still going to be lo. Now, estoy is a just regular conjugated verb. So we could say lo estoy leyendo. Or we can put it after and attached to a present participle. So leyendo is a present participle. So we can say estoy leyéndolo. And that is all one word, leyéndolo. Now, when we do that, we have to add an accent. So we need to add an accent to the E in endo. So if we're going to put it on a participle, if it's an AR verb and we add ando, it still needs to sound like ando, ando. The emphasis goes on that A. But then when we add something here, that's no longer the next to last syllable, so I need an accent, andolo. Same thing with yendo. If I add lo to the end of it, I still need the emphasis on that E. It still needs to be yendo. But that's not the next to last syllable anymore, so I need to add an accent, yendolo. So that's what I did here, leyendolo. Now on this next one, I'm going to read it. I'm going, that's voy, to read it in the future tense, a leer. So that's my verb phrase. It's going to either need to go before that verb phrase or after that verb phrase. Voy is just my simple conjugated verb. So I can say lo voy a leer. Or I can put it after and attached to the infinitive. Voy, voy a leerlo. So I'm just putting it on the end there. Now with infinitives, they already have the emphasis on the last syllable. So now when it becomes the next to last syllable, I don't have to worry about any extra accents. So these two rules, before a conjugated verb and after an infinitive, this is what you need to understand really well for this chapter in the activities that you're going to be doing. So definitely make sure you're getting those two. This one was really just a little extra information. All right, now chapter 14. If you're in chapter 13 still, you really don't have to have this information just yet. This is just for activity for chapter 14. So I'm going to be posting this video again when you get to chapter 14 and just telling you to maybe skip to this part or maybe watch the whole thing to review. But when it comes to direct object pronouns and commands, we said that it can go before a conjugated verb, after an infinitive, or after a present participle. When it comes to commands, it goes in one of two places. Before a negative conjugation, and that's a command conjugation, or attached to the end of a positive conjugation. So, if I have a sentence and I want to say the to command, look at the photo. Mira la foto, that is look at the photo. If I want to say look at it is going to be la. So I can put it after and attached to the positive conjugation. Míralo or mírala. When I do that, remember emphasis usually goes on the next to last syllable. If we change that by adding something to the word, we're going to need an accent. So I am going to put an accent on what used to be the next to last syllable. So mírala. And then if I want to say don't look at it, no mires is don't look. It's going to go before the negative conjugation here. So the negative conjugation is mires. So we'll say no la mires. So that's a negative to command with an object pronoun. All right, with usted, ustedes, and nosotros, it's a little bit easier because mire, miren, and miremos don't change. So with this one, mire la foto, an usted command, la foto is still going to be la. So if it is a positive command, like this one, I'm going to put it on the end there. Mire-la. Now again, I need an accent. I need to know where that emphasis goes. Mire-la. And then to make it negative, no, la, mire. So it just goes right there. For this positive and negative command with ustedes, if I want to say, y'all, look at the photo, look at it, still la. Miren-la. Still need an accent to make it negative. No, la, miren. And then for this last one, nosotros, I feel like you guys don't actually learn this in chapter 14, but I'm going to go over it anyway. So for nosotros, if we want to say, let's look at the photo, let's look at it, it's still la. Miremosla. Or, no, la, miremos. Now, miremosla, miremosla. You need the accent there on that E because that used to be the next to last syllable. And now that it's not, we've got to add that accent so that we know where the emphasis goes. So that is direct object pronouns with commands. Let me know if you are struggling. I will be video conferencing every school day. I'll see you guys then.